Hello, my name is Emphrey, and this is an AppGameKit game development tutorial. Now in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do 3D third-person rotation. And if you look at this code, you'll see that it's not really that much code at all. And after this tutorial, I'm going to show you a version of this code without these green comments that are after these two slashes that you see right here. Okay, so let's get started. So the first part that I have in this code is just the usual stuff. This is the stuff that comes with every project in AppGameKit. For example, you have your window title, your window size, and all that kind of stuff. So that's what this first part is. The second part is I loaded a model and gave it a name of Henry. My model is a .b3d model, but you can use an OBJ model or I think DAE or whatever type of model you want. But for this project, I'm using a B3 model. The second thing that I loaded was a grass texture. And the reason I loaded this grass texture is so that you can kind of see where we're going when we get to moving once I launch my game. And next, I created my platform. My platform is just a 200 by 200 sized plane. And then I rotated that plane 90 degrees so that we could see it on screen. Next, I put the platform model and the grass texture together. And then I put the platform at the bottom of the screen underneath the player. Then I set up my camera rotation. Okay, so now we're inside the do loop. See, do loop. In making a third-person 3D rotation, it is very important that you put the camera directly after the word do in the do loop at the top of your code so that your 3D effects can work correctly. Otherwise, if you put the set camera position function somewhere else in your code, your 3D rotation effects and things might not work correctly. So that's why I got it directly below this word do right here at the beginning of the do loop. Next part puts the camera behind the player, and the next part just moves the camera up so that we can get our character in the position that we want it, or at least in the position I want it. And then we set the move speed, the speed in which the character will be moving when we press the arrow keys. Next, this is the rotation speed. When we press the button, this is how fast our character will be rotating. Next, we're dealing with the controls. This moves the camera and character together. So this first part, the 38, that's when we press the up arrow key. And then when you develop the move speed, in which we'll move both the character and camera together. So that's why we set it to this function called move object local z. And then after this else if statement, when you press the down button, you'll move your character backward. And we just gave this part a variable of camera move 2. We kind of separated the camera moves sections into their own variable. Cam move 2, cam move 3, etc. So then all we did was just attach the character and moving variable together so that the camera and the character will move together. Now when we're moving backwards and forward, it has to do with going in the Z direction. This next part has to do with when we're moving in the rightward direction. That's why we have this X here. So when we press the right arrow key, that's when our character will move to the right. 39 stands for the right arrow key. Likewise, this last move section has to do with moving our character to the left when we press the left arrow key. And once again, whenever you move right or left, you always use X. So that's why we got this move object local X variable here. Now the fun part, the rotation. Well, our rotation is not that much code at all. All we're doing, we set our rotation to what I call the left pointer key, which on your keyboard would also be the comma key. The comma as in this thing right here. And all I did was created a camera rotation speed, and then I set the camera rotation. Remember, we gave our camera a variable of 1. Initiated that here, and we just using the same variable to set our position here, and we use that same one to set our where our camera will be in the Z direction, and we use that same one to set up where our camera will be in the Y direction, so that you can get the entire player. Okay, so we're using that same ID to set this camera rotation so that it will move to the left. So to get this rotation, we get a camera X angle, a camera Y angle, and we attach some speed to it so that it can rotate. And to rotate to the right, we did something similar. We gave it its own variable with this camera rotate Y2, and again we use our camera ID to specify us working with the camera, and get the X angle and the Y angle, and this plus is what rotates it to the right. Likewise, this minus is what rotates the camera to the left. Okay, so that's how rotation works, and as you can see, it's not really that much code at all. This part right here just finalizes the rotation. As we rotate our camera, we also want to rotate our character with it. So we set object rotation. Our object is going to be our character. So remember, we gave our character name of Emphrey. So we just take this and put it in these slots here, dealing with the angle. And then don't forget to sync it, and don't forget in your do loop. See, do loop. Okay, so that's how we set it up. Our code without the comments. Now let's launch our game and see what happens. Okay, so this is our game. Alright, so let's see what happens when I press the up button. When I press the up button, he moves forward. When I press the down button, he moves backwards. When I press the left button, he moves to the left. When I press the right button, he moves to the right. Now here goes the fun part. Here goes the rotation. I'm pressing the comma key, or the left pointer key. See? See? Move to the rotation. And you can see that when I move the character forward, the controls stay consistent. The controls don't change, which is what we really want, right? Okay, so I'm going to try the right rotation. I press the period button. See? See? Rotate to the right. Rotate right some more. Then, as you can see, if I press the up button, our controls hasn't changed at all. And that's how you do third person perspective 3D rotation in AppGameKit. Till next time. Thanks. Bye.